Hello, everybody. Well, a big warm welcome to each one of you. I'm Mohini and I extend a hearty welcome to all my viewers on behalf of PSTV. Yes, guys, we are live only for all our young viewers and with another episode which is going to be filled with a lot of learning, with a lot of fun, and definitely a lot of excitement. Yes, guys. And before I dive into the session today, you guys have been following us for quite some time. Everybody's been pretty regular with the PSTV sessions. So come on, tell me for today, can you spot? It's more like a spot the difference sort of a question that I'm putting forward to all my audiences here before we take the plunge with this session today. And can you spot any difference in my background today, guys? Can you see any difference? So, quickly, come on, I need to hear from everybody. Is there any difference that you can see in the background? Look around the kind of background that you see every day in my sessions. Can you see any difference today? Quickly tell me. Okay, so I can see a lot of you are typing in. All right, let's see if you are good observers. Okay. Wow, lovely. Okay, and my chat box is flooded with that response. Of course, yes, I think almost everybody is like a great observer here because everybody can spot the difference. Well, the difference today for all my viewers out here is that if you can see, there are a host of books right there. Okay, there are a number of books that you can see them. Okay, I and this is because well, our topic for discussion today is the book review podcast. Precisely, guys, that's what we are talking about today in our session. It is going to be the book review podcast. And that is the reason that, I actually wanted to show you my entire collection of books because that's something that I really have like a huge collection of books, but obviously I couldn't show you all of them. So I chose some of the books that would fit into this little space that I have behind me so that I can give all my viewers a feel of the session today, okay, of what we're going to be talking about. It is the book review podcast. And if you can see, guys, I have Becoming by Michelle Obama. I have And the Mountains Echoed by Khalid Hussain. I have The Fault in Our Stars, a personal favorite by John Green. And I have The Ramayana there. I have The Secret there, and a lot, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma, and a lot more books there. And these are just some of my personal favorites, and these are the books that I really rely on when I need to unwind and basically relax myself. Okay. So all my book lovers, because I'm sure that everybody's a book lover here since you are attending this session on a book review podcast. Can we hear it out in the chat box before we move on for all these lovely, amazing books, okay? That we have so much to learn from and that have so much to offer, right? So, guys, come on quickly in the chat box. Anything, any of your favorite emoji, which just tells me that you love books, okay? Come on quickly. All right. So I can see a lot of you are typing in, and I get the fire emoji. I'm getting the heart emoji. Lovely, lovely, guys. And I'm so glad to be receiving all these emojis from everybody, from my entire audience out here. Great. So let us just move forward, guys. So you and I, we are on this amazing journey, and this journey is called, of course, understanding the art of podcasting, right? And every single day, thank you so much, Sai, for this. It says good vibes, and thank you. We really need good vibes, okay? And every single day, guys, we are, delving a little deeper into the arena of podcasting and getting to know so much more about this field. Yes? And of course, what's happening? Okay, what are we discussing today? What have I put together for everybody during this session, guys? Okay. So, of course, like we've started with quote of the day, I will be talking about the quote of the day. And, after that, we will move on to break the ice, which is actually a would you rather, wherein I give you two options and you select your option. Okay, you select your choice basically. And after that, today's agenda, guys, we have what is a book review because you obviously are going ahead with the book review podcast. So you have to get a little clarity about what really is a book review and what does a book review do. Then again, there is a thin line difference between a book review and a book report, and that's the reason that I'm going to be clarifying this for all my audiences here. We're going to be talking about what is the difference between a book review and a book report. So that once you're writing a book review and once you're putting that forward as far as your podcast is concerned, you obviously don't include some of the things that are not supposed to be included in a book review but in a book report. So we will be taking that up as well. And after that, we will be discussing about parts of a book, and of course we'll have a fun activity. Then there is something called the main components of a book review. There is also elements of a good book review, that what are the basic elements that a good book review should comprise of. Because guys, before you move ahead with a book review podcast, you have to have that script in place. Okay, we all have to have that book review in place, and that's when we can go ahead and record our podcast, right? And that's the reason that today we are discussing about a book review. Okay, so the main components of a book review, the elements of a good book review, and of course, before we close the session for today, we will do a quick recap of all the learnings, because today's session is filled with a lot of information, guys, especially for all of you, and for all of you who want to go ahead with the book review podcast. So of course, recap of the learnings that we do every single day after once we reach the end of the session, and we'll be doing the same for today as well. And of course, before I close the session, I will be giving out fun things for homework for everybody. All right, and guys, let's just get started. Yes. So the quote of the day, everybody. Well, how much good inside a day depends how good you live them. How much love inside a friend depends how much you give them. Yes, and the quote is by A Light in the Arctic. Okay, it's a beautiful quote, my friends. I can see a lot of smileys popping in, a lot of loves for the quote. I'm so glad that everybody liked the quote. And isn't it a beautiful quote? It is. It really shows that a day is what you can actually make out of it. And as far as friendship is concerned, well, it totally depends on how much you give, the amount of love that you give. Okay, all right. And that's why this quote is something that I love, and I'm sure that all my viewers also do, because I can see a lot of hearts that are popping in. Lovely. Okay, guys, moving on now. So the first question when it comes to would you rather. So tell me, would you rather be able to slide down rainbows or jump on clouds? What would you want to do? Okay, if I gave you a superpower, maybe be able to slide down rainbows or jump on clouds. And I'd be confused because I love the rainbows, I love the clouds. Okay, so I'd be really confused. But I think jumping on clouds would be my thing. So come on, tell me, what's your thing? What would you like to do, guys? Any thoughts on that quickly? Okay. And I get jump on clouds also here. The majority of you are saying jump on clouds. I can see, yeah, a few more jump on clouds. Lovely, guys. Okay. Great to see that. All right. So majority of you are also saying jump on clouds. And it'll be fun, I think. Yeah. All right. So moving on to the next question that I have here. Be able to play the piano or the guitar. What would you rather do? Would you rather be able to play the piano or the guitar? I think for me, I'm really, attracted to how the guitar works. And, I think I really actually long to learn the guitar. So I think I would definitely go with the guitar. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of responses for the other one also. Jump on clouds, all right, okay. Lovely. And so now answer this one. Okay. All right. So I can see piano. I can see guitar. I can see guitar again. Wow. So there are a number of you who play the guitar, guys. And I can see, all right, I already play, you play. So guitar would be another one. Lovely. So glad to know that everybody here, all of you are so enthusiastic about so many of these musical instruments. Glad to hear that. All right. So moving on to the next question, everybody. Be able to talk to dogs or cats. So come on, tell me, what would you want to do? Would you rather be able to talk to cats, dogs, or cats? I think I would rather be able to talk to dogs because I would not say scared, I would say I'm paranoid of dogs, okay? So I think I would rather be able to talk to them to understand how they're feeling at the moment so that I don't go close to them when they're like really angry, okay? So probably that would be the reason, and I get the dogs here, okay? Dogs, all right, and I'm getting the loves for the dogs also. Lovely, guys, lovely. Okay, and I'm getting a few cats also. Great, great. All right, good responses, everyone. Now moving on to the next one. Would you rather ride a roller coaster or go down a giant water slide? So, what would you do, guys? Okay, I think for me, a giant water slide. Roller coaster is something that is not my thing. I don't think I'm that adventurous to go ahead and explore the roller coaster. I've done that once in my life, and it wasn't a very pleasant experience. But so then I think a giant water slide would be something that I think I would go and explore. Okay, so let's see what are the responses that are coming in. Roller coaster is scary for you too. Okay, Sanjukta, I get it. Thank you. All right, it's scary for me as well. Okay, so I get a lot of roller coasters. I'm getting giant water slides also. So it's more like a mixed bag that I can see here. Lovely. All right. Okay, guys. Now moving on to the next one that we have for you here. Get up early or stay up late. So come on, tell me, what would you want to do? Okay, so this one is for the earlier one. I get giant water slide. Okay. All right, and somebody's saying that they've already tried the giant water slide. Lovely. Okay, great to know that. So now everyone answer this one. Get up early or stay up late, guys. What's your thing? Well, for me, I'm a complete night owl, and I think everybody by now knows this. It's a night owl thing for me always. I love to stay up late and I enjoy my little time that I get to myself. Okay, during those hours. So, okay. So I am getting stay up late. I'm again getting stay up late. Okay. So a lot of the stay up late, and there are a few get up earlys also. Lovely, guys. Great to get all your responses out here. Okay, and now I think, yes, we're almost done with Break the Ice. We're done with Would You Rather. And now we come to today's agenda. What are we going to be discussing today? Okay, today's session. So today's session is all about knowing about the book review podcast. Okay, and of course, the first thing that we start is what is a book review? So, what precisely is a book review, guys? Okay, and here's what it is. Well, a book review is a thorough description, it's critical analysis and or evaluation of the quality, meaning and significance of a book. Okay, so it is actually a thorough description. It's more like an analysis or the evaluation of the meaning and the significance of a particular book, which is actually written in relation to prior research on a topic. Okay, you obviously research on the topic and then you go ahead and put that book review together. All right, so that is what is a book review. Moving on, reviews generally range from 500 to 2000 words. That's the usual range of the reviews. But there are a number of reviews that can be longer, that can be shorter. And of course, the length of a review obviously depends on the complexity of the book that is being reviewed. A, okay. Of course, it also depends about the overall purpose of the review. What is the purpose of your review? Okay, and of course it also depends on whether the review examines two or more books. Okay, if you're examining two or more books that focus on the same topic together, of course your review is going to be lengthier. All right, so these are the different things that actually affect the length as far as a review is concerned. But usually, generally, book reviews are ranging between 500 to 2000 words. Okay, guys. All right. So that is all about what is a book review. And let us just move on, everybody. So, what does a book review do? Okay, what does a book review do precisely? What does it do for all of us? Well, a book review is basically a guide for potential readers. Okay, and in a concise manner, a review summarizes the author's qualifications and main points, often providing examples from the text. So, in a book review, usually you'll see then you have to provide some examples from the text. Of course, you don't give away the entire text, that's not something that you do, but you do give some certain examples. You talk about the main points the story revolves around, the book revolves around, okay? And it's basically a guide for potential readers, okay? A review also provides an opinion on whether the author succeeds or not in convincing readers of his or her points, okay? So book review has to be about an opinion, okay? It cannot be a book review without an opinion is not really a book review basically, okay? When you are putting that book review together, you've got to have an opinion about the book. What do you feel about the book, okay? All right, and you have to put that forward to your listeners as far as your podcast is also concerned. You have to tell them what is your feeling about the book, what's your review, because as the name suggests, it is a review, guys. It's a book review. All right. So now moving on. Well, like I mentioned, that there is a very thin line difference between the book report and the book review, and that's what we will be discussing right away. Okay, then what is the difference between a book report and a book review? And it's important to know the difference between the two. Okay, the biggest difference, of course, between these two is that a book report is objective. Okay, it's objective, guys, and while a book review is not objective. Okay, and this is the first and foremost, the basic difference between the two. A book report is more concise, it's more objective, and a book review is something which is not objective, okay? And of course, there are a few other differences, and we will be taking that up one by one. So the first difference is that a book report structure is simpler than a book review. Okay, so a book report is not very complicated. Of course, a book review is also not very complicated, but of course, a book review has a number of elements to it. A book report is, of course, something that's simple. It gives a brief retelling of the entire story that was there in the book, and that the book spoke about, and it may include details about the plot, the characters, and the setting. Okay, so it's more like a brief retelling of the entire story of the book as far as the book report is concerned. Okay, and a book review, on the other hand, is actually an in-depth analysis of the text, guys. Okay, a review is going to include an analysis of the author's intent, the basic thematic elements, the symbolism, and a lot of other things that are included. Okay, so book review is more structured, okay, and it's more in depth, it's more in detail, guys. And a large part of a book report is basically a summary, but the summary only serves as context for a book review. Okay, so it's more like the summary of a book report is something that will serve as the context for your the summary of the basically the summary that you get from a book report is something that will just serve as a context for your book review, everybody. Okay, and that's how it works for a book review and the book report. So I hope that the basic difference between a book report and a book review is clear to everybody. Is it clear, guys? Can I get a show of hands in my chat box, or just type in yes in the chat box if this difference is clear? Because it's imperative to know this difference before you move ahead and write that book review for your podcast, everybody. So please send me a yes. Okay, I can see a yes, yes, yes coming in. All right, so there is yes, yes. I'm so glad that you all are clear on this bit. Okay, so now moving ahead, everyone. Well, what are the parts of a book? Yes, guys, the book also has parts, and we are going to be discussing about what are the parts of a book. All right, and if you can see, we have the books here which are being screened so that everybody can see that what are the parts of the book. Okay, all right. So a book's front matter. The front matter, basically the cover of the book. All right, that you can see. All right, and of course a lot of work goes into developing the kind of cover that you want, something that attracts the audiences. All right, and that is definitely there. And again, the book's body matter, the body matter of the book, okay, which is again imperative because it's what your story is all about. Okay, and that is precisely what you're going to be reviewing as far as your book review is concerned, the entire body, the entire story. Okay, what the book talks about, what it wants to say to the readers, to the audiences. Okay, and after that we have the book's end matter. Okay, the end of the book. And usually if you see from cover to cover, towards the end of the book, at the back of the book, you'll see a note from the author. You'll see a few more things about the book. Okay, a number of things that are there towards the end of the book, and all of us, I think, are guilty of reading the end matter first and then going ahead and starting a book. Especially this is true in case of fictional books. Yes, and I see a lot of smileys for that. I think everybody's guilty of that. And yes, so of course, a book contains three parts: a book's front matter, the body matter, and the end matter, guys. Okay, all right. And now let's just move on. So let's see what do we have here. Oh yes, and now I think we can take a short breather. All right, because it is time for fun activity, everybody. Okay, so we are going to be doing a fun activity right here, right now. Okay, so identify the famous characters, and these are some famous characters from famous books, of course. All right, so the first one: what is the name of Winnie the Pooh's donkey friend? Okay, so if you can see, the Winnie the Pooh is hugging this donkey friend. So what is the name of Winnie the Pooh's donkey friend, guys? Any thoughts on this one? So I can see a lot, a lot of you are thinking. Let's see what everybody has to say on this one. So I can see the piglet is there. Okay. No, piglet is not the correct answer. I can see Tigger is there. Okay. Eeyore. Yeah. Okay. So a lot of you, I think, have got that correct. I think a lot of you have got this correct. Let me just show you the right answer. It is Eeyore, guys. Yes, all of you are correct. Good one, everybody. Okay. Now moving on. Which character in Alice's Adventure in Wonderland muttered, oh dear, I shall be late." Okay, so which character is the one who's usually saying this in Alice's Adventure in Wonderland? Any guesses? So I can see a lot of you are typing in. I get the caterpillar there. I can see caterpillar. I can see the Queen of Hearts there. The King of Hearts is also there. So I can see all characters that are there in Alice in Wonderland. Huh? I can see the rabbit there. Okay, all right. Then I can see the Mad Hatter is also there. The mouse is there. Okay. The Queen of Hearts again. The rabbit again. All right. And let me see what the correct answer is, everybody. Okay, just a second. All right. And the correct answer is the white rabbit. Well, a few of you did get this correct, but I could see all characters from Alice in Wonderland in my chat box, guys. Okay. Lovely. Moving on. What is the name of the lion in The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? So, what is the name of the lion? Any guesses? Wow. And I think a lot of you know this. A lot of you are aware of this. Yes, guys, the answer is Aslan. Okay, that is the correct answer. And well done, everybody. That was quite quick, huh? Okay. And now the next one that we have here. In Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, what is Charlie's surname? What is Charlie's surname, everybody? So tell me. Okay, I get a few answers already, which is a good thing. Okay, so what is Charlie's surname? And yes, okay, yes, guys, all of you are correct. Okay, I think everybody has read this book. Okay, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. It's been a favorite with me as well, and Royal Dahl has done a great job. And yes, the correct answer is bucket. Precisely. So all of you are correct. Huh? Everybody remembers a lot of details from all these amazing books. Okay, and now moving on to this one, a personal favorite with everybody. Okay, and I'm sure that this group is going to get this correct. So, what was the name of Harry Potter's pet owl, guys? What was the name? Come on, quickly, everybody. Okay, and I can see my chat box is bombarded with all the correct answers. Yes, I'm not going to make you wait anymore. Well, the correct answer is Hedwig, everybody. And congratulations, all of you have got that correct, which is so good. Okay, I'm so glad everybody has been answering so well and so actively. So a thumbs up from my end for everybody and for all those wonderful answers in the chat box. Okay, guys, and now let us just move ahead. Well, the next thing that we are discussing, that what are the components of a book review? So, what are the main components that a book review has, everyone? Okay, and we'll take this one by one. All right. So, well, a successful book review basically includes a short summary of the book, okay, which is more or less like, summarizing in conclusions that we do usually in creative writing. We do that in essay writing also. We do write summaries. So, basically, a successful book review has to have a short summary of the book. And a book review only does not have a short summary of the book, it also has to have some amount of background information about the author as well as the topic. Okay, so these are two things that are important. You have to give your readers who are, or even your audiences, when you go ahead and podcast that book review of yours, that you know what, that some sort of information about the author as well as the topic the book is addressing. Okay, the book is talking about. All right, apart from the summary of the book. Okay, and of course, the book review has to include an evaluation of the content. Okay, unless you evaluate your content, the content that is there in the book, unless you put an analysis to it, okay, unless you put that together, you show it to your audiences, you give them something that is new, you give them a new perspective, a new analysis, a new evaluation of the entire content of the book. Now everybody more or less knows what a book is all about. Okay, what is that you're going to be showing them differently? Okay, and that is what will make or break your book review, basically. All right, and that's the reason that I put this together. That, guys, whenever you are writing a book review, please take a note of these things. Your book review, to be a successful one, has to have a short summary of the book. It's got to have background information about the author and the topic, and of course it has to have an evaluation of the content. Okay, so it has to have these three things to be able to be called a successful book review. So I hope everybody has made a note of these pointers, guys. It's only then that I can move forward. So just give me a show of hands quickly in the chat box, everybody. All right, lovely, lovely. Okay, thank you, everyone. And moving on to 5 elements of a good book review. Okay, so what are the elements of a good book review? And like I always bring to you certain pointers, and I've gotten 5 elements that you have to consider before putting forward your book review, everybody. Okay, so 5 elements of a good book review. So now, the first one that we have here is that a good review, a good book review, is actually a balanced one. It is balanced, okay? It takes into account that we all have likes and dislikes, okay? And you have to please take that into consideration when you're writing your own book review, okay? While a certain book may be something that is not your cup of tea, you haven't enjoyed a certain book, you want to go ahead with a review, fair enough, go ahead and write about it. Okay, it's your opinion at the end of the day. Okay, but please remember this, that it might not be your cup of tea, but it might just be somebody else's absolute favorite, guys. It might just be a book that somebody has thoroughly enjoyed, they've loved it. Okay, and share your honest opinion, but realize that's what it is, your opinion. Okay, a subjective evaluation of what you've read. That's precisely what a book review talks about. It's got to be a subjective evaluation of what you've read, and no more and no less than this. Okay, so book review has to be a balanced book review, guys. Okay, all right, now moving on to the next pointer that we have for you here. A good review is about the book, it is not the author. Please ensure that you don't go ahead and talk about the author too much in your book review. Okay, focus on the writing, on the treatment of the topic. How was the topic treated? How was the content treated? How did the author put forward his point together? Okay, what were the characters involved in the story? Okay, what was the storyline all about? What was the research that went into putting that story together for the author? What were the facts and a number of different things? Okay, and don't make any judgment calls about the author, because that's not something that you're supposed to do when you're writing a good book review. Okay, a book review will never pass out any judgments about the author, okay, the one who's actually written the book. Okay, you cannot give your thoughts, your judgments about the author's faith, the intelligence, the relationships of the author. If the author is a parent, then something about the parenting skills of the author, the life of the author, the parentage, or something else. Okay, a reviewer's job, a book reviewer's job, is basically to share your opinion of the book. Okay, you are here to only write about your opinion of the book. Okay, and you're supposed to be putting that forward, that whether the book worked for you or it did not work for you. All right, and you have absolutely no right to go beyond that, guys. Okay, you're not supposed to be passing judgments on the author's faith, on the author's intelligence, no matter how bad and no matter how good a particular book is. Okay, you are here to only write about the book. So please make it a point, everybody, that when you are writing about a book review, of course, you will be talking a little about the author's life. You will be talking about a little about how the author has gone ahead and put the story together, how the author has gone ahead and put his views together in that book. But it cannot be about passing a judgment about any other aspect of the author's life. It cannot be something that questions the faith of the author, the skills of the author, the parentage, the intelligence of the author. Please don't do that. We as reviewers, we are supposed to be reviewing that particular book and nothing more. All right, we cannot go ahead and review the author and the author's intelligence. Okay, so just remember that. And I'm stressing on this pointer more because as reviewers, I've written a number of book reviews, so I know this. I can personally give this out to everybody. We sometimes get carried away in that flow of writing a review, and then we don't realize when it moves from the book to the author. Okay, and please don't do that. Just stop whenever you feel you're going haywire. All right. Now, moving on to the next pointer that I have. A book review doesn't give an extensive summary of the book, okay? And then one or two lines about your thoughts. Now, of course, everybody, every reader, they can get summary from lots of places, okay? So it's not like there are a shortage of places where they can get a summary of the book. They can just go and read about it on the net. They can ask anybody else, okay? Getting a summary about the book is not something that's tough, okay, for your readers. All right, and everybody is well aware if they are going ahead and reading or listening to a book review, obviously they are well educated, they're well aware, they know some things about the book. Okay, and what they really want to know, what your readers or your audiences are actually expecting out of that review, is that what you thought about the writing, the message, the story. Okay, it's about your thoughts, it's about your evaluation, your analysis, okay, of what you feel, what you think, what you feel about the writing, what you think about the message that the book put forward, what do you think about the story, whether it worked for you, whether it did not work for you, what were the great elements, what are the highlights of the story, and things like that. Okay, they don't just want a summary. So please don't go ahead and write just a summary and say, okay, so my book review is done, and go ahead and podcast it. No, you have to give your readers something different, you have to give your audiences something different. Okay, they're not there waiting to hear a summary of the book. That's something that's easily available all around them. Okay, so please give them something else, give them like more than that little summary about the book. Okay, and moving on to the next pointer, guys. A good review does not give away the ending, the secret, the mystery, the twist. Okay, and please, friends, for the love of heaven, don't ruin the read for the others. Okay, don't ever do this, don't ever do this. Okay, and if you know that, if you're like reviewing a certain mystery book, and if you know that the killer is on particular page number 3 or page number 4, and you say, I knew the killer was by page 4, okay, or it's done by page 5, don't say that. Please don't say that. Okay, and or maybe something like that, I knew that by page 6 that the butler was the killer. Okay, so don't give that out, please. It's a mystery. Okay, that's the last thing that your audiences will want to hear from you. Okay, and if a book has a great twist, okay, like the number of books that have a lot of twists, okay, involved in them, a lot of nail biting twists, okay, but please don't give out those twists. Okay, say that the book has a nail biting twist, it goes to another end, and there are different routes that the book takes particularly. But please don't give that twist away. Don't tell your audience what that twist is all about, guys. And please have some mercy, not just on the readers but also on the author. The author's put in his or her hard work in putting that book all together. Okay, so don't ruin it for the author. At least don't ruin it for your readers. It's the last thing that they want for a book review. They are reading a book review or they are listening to a particular book review only because they want to go ahead and read that book. Okay, you are trying to encourage them to read or maybe not to read a particular book. Okay, that's your opinion, but don't give out the secrets that are there in the book. Don't give out the mystery that's there in the book. Don't give out the ending, and please don't give out if there are any twists in the book. Don't give it out at the instance of a book review. Okay, that's not what a book review consists of, guys. All right, now moving on to the next one. A good big book review is supposed to be specific. Okay, and of course, don't just go ahead and say that I love this book or I hated it or I detested it, I didn't like it. Tell your audiences, tell your readers why. Okay, what are your reasons? Tell us what were the highlights for you. Tell them that what were the specific aspects of it that you loved, that you liked, okay, that you thoroughly enjoyed. What was something that worked for you? Okay, so some examples of these things could actually be: what did you like or dislike about the writing, and what was that worked out for you as far as the writing is concerned. What drew you to or left you cold about the topic or the characters. Okay, this is something that you can discuss as far as your book review is concerned. Then what moved or challenged or inspired or maybe just infuriated or disappointed you, something that you did not like. Okay, something that you got disappointed about. Okay, or maybe something that just motivated you, that just inspired you. Okay, that just challenged your thought process altogether. So just put these pointers together as far as your book review is concerned, guys. Okay, so book review is supposed to be specific, and I've mentioned here there are 3 examples of things that you can put together in your book review. So everybody just take a quick note or a screenshot of these pointers also. All right, okay. So, guys, these were, more or less the 5 elements that we mentioned about a book review, okay, that you should definitely have in your book review. And now, everybody, come on quickly in the chat box. Just let me know if these pointers, if these elements, which are related to a good book review are actually clear to everyone. Quickly in the chat box, everybody. I want to hear from everyone right here. All right. Okay, lovely. So I'm getting a lot of yes. I'm also getting a lot of the high fives. I'm getting a lot of hearts. Okay, lovely. So I feel everybody is more or less clear on, this entire thoughts about the elements that a book review, a good book review, should ideally have, guys. And now I think we are almost approaching the end of today's session. So, of course, before I sign out, a quick recap for everybody about what all we discussed in a session where we started the session with what is a book review, and I've given it out that what is a book review. I hope that's clear. And what does a book review basically do? All right, and then we went ahead and we discussed about a book review versus a book report. Okay, because like I mentioned in the start of this session, there is a very thin line difference between a book review and a book report. And when you're writing a book review, you have to ensure that you're writing a book review and not a report. Okay, and that's the reason that we discussed all this in detail. Okay, and moving forward, we discussed about the various parts of the book. All right, and I hope everybody's clear on that. Again, I mentioned about some of the main components of a book review, that what are the main components that a book review comprises of. And of course, I gave out 5 elements of a good book review, guys. Yeah. All right. And is everybody clear about everything that we discussed in today's session, guys? One more time, I need to hear from everybody in the chat box. Come on, quickly, everyone. Just let me know. All right, lovely, lovely. So I'm getting a lot of responses. I'm getting a lot of yes again. I'm getting a lot of thumbs up as well. Lovely, guys. Thank you so much for those responses. And thank you so much for being such a responsive audience today. Okay, everybody's been so active, even in the trivia section, in the fun activity. And I hope that this session has been fruitful for all of you. And of course, now we have the homework. Research a little more about the book reviews before you construct your podcast, everybody. Okay, you have to know very thoroughly about a book review before you go ahead and podcast it. All right, you've got to know that. So just go ahead and research a little more about it, everybody. All right. And guys, before I take your leave for today, of course, I have to tell you about what's next. What are we going to be discussing this? Yes, we are going to be taking this step by step into how to write a book review. That is something that we will be discussing in detail in tomorrow's session, everybody. So, all the book review, I mean, all the book lovers basically, and all of you who actually want to go ahead with the book review podcast, please stay ahead, stay tuned to my sessions. And as far as today's session is concerned, there was a lot of information involved. So it would be a personal request to please go ahead, go back to the session, go through all the information that was provided in today's session, guys. All right. And till then, all my podcasters in the making, like I always say, keep thinking, keep imagining, and keep working. And yes, keep educating that beautiful, beautiful mind of yours, guys. Till then, take care. Bye bye.